So, welcome to the HRO Restaurant Interview Series. I'm Marcus Malone, VP of Sales with HRO Resources. And we help our small business clients with a lot of things, with creating efficiencies and evaluating cost on a broad scale within their business. And today, we're going to be talking with Mike Price of PJ's Coffee out in Cypress. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to hearing, your story and what your experience has been, here in the recent months. Could you tell us maybe a little bit about your PJ's location and the communities that you serve?
Sure. Well, our location in Cypress is one of three locations for PJ's Coffee of New Orleans franchise at this time. And we're serving the Cypress community. We're at Barker, Cypress, just south of US 290. And very happy to be in the Cypress area. I actually live in the Spring area. And so it's been kind of nice getting to meet the people, the other business owners, people in the Chamber of Commerce and in the school district in the Cypress area.
Well, yeah. So I guess tell us a little bit about your experience here over the past couple of months. It's really been like nothing we've ever seen. Just kind of curious what your experience has been, for the business, for the employees.
Well, it has been quite a challenge. Of course, anybody who's in the restaurant business, of course, is dealing with the same thing we're dealing with. So a lot of it is not new. A lot of it's been mandated by the government, what you're allowed to do. But for us, being a coffee shop, having to close down our dining area, that right there was affecting 60% of our sales. Roughly 60% of our sales come from our in-dining experience or either service on the patio. So what that means is we've been relegated to drive-through only. So there are enough people that still need their caffeine that we saw a huge increase in our drive-through service, that's been the thing that has pretty much kept us alive. And it's allowed us to continue to maintain a staff level where I haven't had to let anybody go. And that's been nice. We really value our baristas, the training they receive. It takes a lot of time and effort to train people to learn how to make all the various drinks that patrons enjoy from a coffee shop. So we have a lot invested in our baristas, and it's good when we can show them how much we care about them, to tell them, hey, you're going to have a job. We've got things covered here, and we're going to be able to keep you employed.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great for them, and I imagine a really good feeling for you guys as well. Not having to go through, a brutal process of shrinking down and letting folks go. That's amazing. Well, I mean, are there some creative things that you guys have done that you might be able to tell us about to kind of navigate?
Well, we've done a few things differently, but we kind of focused on a lot of social media prior to this. We've decided we had to up our game on the social media aspects. So one thing that we've done in the past to try to get people to come in and try our product, enjoy our New Orleans ambiance, is offer buy one, get one deals where we offer drinks at equal or lesser value if they'll purchase a drink. We focused on Mother's Day specials because that holiday just came by, and that was a very good opportunity to show mothers our appreciation. We let people purchase gift cards for mothers, and then we also offered free coffee for mothers. We partnered with Chubb Insurance Company to offer $1,500 worth of gift cards to first responders. That was through a partnership with the folks at Essential Insurance Agency, and they set us up with Chubb to fund that. And we always enjoy providing discounts to our first responders. And then we have arrangements to provide discounts to the Cy-Fair ISD elementary, middle school, and high school staff. So those are the areas where we primarily focused on since we've gone through this COVID reduction in our in-dining experience.
That's awesome, and really great to hear that, even through all of the challenges, that you guys have still been looking for ways to reach out and give back and help out, the others in the community. I think that goes a long way and benefits us all in the long run. That's really great to hear. Maybe tell us a little bit about the PPP loan process. Were you guys able to apply for that?
We were able to apply. We had a partnership with William S. Cannon and Associates, Sam Cannon, and he came in and helped us complete the forms in a very professional and manner that the bank was anxious to receive. Bancorp South processed our loan application, and we were one of the first people to receive our PPP funding, and it was a very timely receipt. We didn't, as I mentioned before, we haven't had to let go any of our employees. We also have not had to reduce the hours that our employees were able to receive during their work shifts as a result of having that funding early.
Great, man. That was the key. I mean, from our experience too, just watching folks, if you were able to get ahead of the game, we did the same thing, for our clients that were handling their payroll and some of those things. We, were proactive in putting together all that information and packets for our clients. So when they were ready to apply, boom, we got them what they need and they were able to get in the door quickly. So that's great to hear. So what about your operations? I mean, since this all started to today, what do your operations look like today as it relates to maybe in-house seating or drive-through or takeout delivery type stuff?
So when we follow the government mandates to shut down our in dining operations, and we shut down our patio as well, we posted signs. Now we've reopened since last Wednesday, May the 6th. We've reopened our in dining, and we have signage posted to recommend that people wear masks, encourage social distancing. When people do come in, we have a plexiglass barrier at the point of sale system. There are tables are at reduced capacity. Our capacity is down to 12 guests based upon our maximum capacity that we are allowed to have in our store. So we have reduced the number of tables accordingly. We have sanitizer dispensers on every table at the door. Baristas in the full view of the customer put sanitizer on their hands before they serve, before they hand a credit card. In a lot of cases, we're using contactless credit processing. All our employees wear masks. Pretty much everything that's mandated of all restaurants, we're doing. PJ's Corporate was very helpful in providing detailed instructions at the very beginning of looking at what the governments are requiring. And here's a condensed version for you, PJ's franchisees, get out there and do it, implement it. And so we have implemented all of those steps. So we try to make people feel comfortable. Once a customer receives their drink, and by the way, the baristas even make the drinks for them. We've closed down our condiment stand, so there's no chance of people passing on any contact virus or anything like that. When the people then sit at the table, they can take their mask off. Of course, it's kind of hard to drink a cup of coffee with a mask covering your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no,
we feel like we're in full compliance, and we try to make people feel comfortable that we are, so that no one would feel uncomfortable being around our operations.
That's really good. Yeah, you guys have done a lot as far as, measures to make folks feel comfortable and give them confidence that, it's safe to come in and have a cup of coffee and there's no reason to be uncomfortable. That's awesome. So with some of the changes that you've been making and kind of, navigating and adapting, has it been primarily social media that you've communicated those changes to your customer base?
We have signage, and then we use these social media. And those are the two things. When somebody comes to the store for in dining experience, of course, they're going to see all the signage that's posted there.
Yeah.
Most people know what is required for a restaurant because it's been so much in the forefront of the discussion of the COVID-19 preventative measures that can be made. So most people, are just going to find that we're doing what's expected of restaurants. The main impact for us is that the drive-through now has become our predominant way of making a sale compared to in dining experience. That has started off very slowly for us. So I would say we're still 95% of our sales are from drive-through right at the moment. Even though we've been open 1 week, it still hadn't translated into a lot of traffic by people personally.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent with what we're seeing too. Just, talking with other restaurant owners and folks similar to yourself is that, hey, yeah, we've opened up in-house seating to some capacity and we're doing all these things, to, keep folks safe and, disinfectants and all this stuff, but folks still aren't just coming back, just yet. I think there's still a lag period before folks really gain that confidence. And, hopefully that'll start picking up here in the near future. And just kind of looking forward over the coming months and the rest of the year, what are some of the biggest challenges that you foresee?
Well, I think you just hit on it. It's people getting the confidence through, maybe it's what we read about in the paper and on the news every day, increased testing, so that people can have confidence that we've got a handle on the spread of the virus and how well it's being corralled. Just people feeling comfortable and feeling relaxed and feeling like they can get out in public without being exposed. Until people are going to feel comfortable, there's a lot of people that are not going to go out, and rightfully so. Everyone should do what they feel is best. All we can do is just try to let people know that we're going to do everything we can, everything that's been recommended by the CDC, the guidelines. We're going to make sure our store is as safe as possible for anybody to come in, that we feel like that we're going to present a chance for them to come in an environment that's safer than their home with the efforts we take to sanitize and keep things clean.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think the communication, and just constantly driving home that message is going to be key and kind of helping, create that confidence sooner than later. So just thinking through, challenges and, what's coming on the horizon, what are some areas, or are there any areas where you feel like you guys are still maybe looking for some help in the reopening or restarting process?
It's really traffic. It's really people coming through. The PPP funding is very, very helpful. It reduces the strain on an owner to worry about taking care of his employees. And like I mentioned earlier, employers put a lot of money into training their employees in order to provide the service that the people in the community have come to expect. And so our employees are our most important asset, and we really want to be able to take care of them. And if these restrictions continue into the future, as far as people being able to get out and about, then I see that that's definitely going to affect all restaurant owners with their ability to continue with the revenues that they need to sustain their operations. And so it could be that there's going to be another round of funding that's going to be necessary to help with us retaining our employees, all restaurant owners' ability to retain their key employees. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know there's talks about those things potentially happening, but yeah, I mean, I would agree that, that first round of funding was definitely impactful. I mean, from what we've seen just in the past week and a half or so with our own client base, the ones who've been receiving funding and just the impact it's made for them and their employees and their morale in general has been encouraging. So Mike, we'll finish with this. Do you have any restaurant or coffee shop advice you would like to share with other owners out there?
I think the only thing they can do is stretch themselves, maybe to where you're a little uncomfortable stepping out and doing the right thing, satisfying your customers, showing that you're following all the guidelines to a T, maybe even going overboard in that regard to build the confidence in the consumers that, that it's a safe place to go. I feel like that there's a lot of people out there who don't feel that getting out in the public is a safe place to go. So if restaurant owners can do that, can help allay those fears of those people, then maybe it'll allow a large segment of the society to want to come back and start frequenting their favorite restaurants again.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Well, Mike, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate all your insights and for sharing those things with us. Everybody, please remember to support your local restaurants, your coffee shops. If you're in the area, please swing by the PJ Cypress location and show Mike and his team some love. I can vouch myself for how great their coffee and the food and the ambiance is. I know I've been there myself a few times and really enjoy it. So please check out www.restart-tx.com for resources to support the restaurant industry. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great week.